Oh, we're at camera one. Camera three is over here. Okay. Camera one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, baby!
Welcome to Hot Takes.
Welcome to Hot Takes. Welcome back to Hot Takes.
Yeah, episode 5, episode B in Roman numerals.
I was trying to figure that out earlier. This is the 5th?
Yeah, I think so. Unless I'm counting wrong.
Time to retire.
Yep. Yeah. Good run.
It was a really
Where
fun
Star
time.
Wars should have stopped, I guess.
Definitely. Although in their mind, it was only 3.
That's number 2, actually.
Episode 5. Is that Empire?
Yep.
They could have stopped there.
Yeah, they could have.
Left it open-ended, like, will the rebellion succeed?
It's always another enemy in Star Wars.
Well, that's what they really messed up for me. I don't want to get too in the weeds just yet. Hold on, because I could go all night about this, and maybe I will.
Friends, we got our VIPs out there. We got Judy out there.
We got VIPs?
We got Monique out there.
Hey, Monique. Hey, Judy.
Good to see everybody.
We got Kristen Halverson.
I don't know about that. But,
we got Justin the Shrimper.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's got a net.
And a nickname.
He's got a net.
That's awesome.
Like those old gladiators who had the net and the trident.
Oh, I always wondered how they did anything with that.
The whole idea is you trap someone in the net.
That's cheating.
Nah, you work as a team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, baby, you have like the big muscle guy, right? And you have the little shrimpy guy, and he gets the guy in the net, and the big muscle guy can come in and go stabby.
Well, I don't mean this
No, you hate short people.
No, well, I'm short. I'm a short person. I don't mean this in a argumentative way, but I didn't know there were non-muscular gladiators.
Yeah, there was a whole system actually. It was very, very. There was you would strategically put in the smaller, more lively guy that was fast.
Okay.
And then you'd put in the big burly guy like the bear character, and it would try to see which fighting style would be better.
Clearly
it's more no, because imagine that you get the guy that was just jump in, boom, jump in, boom.
Well, that didn't work for Oberyn in Game of Thrones.
It did not work for Oberyn. He won that.
Well, actually, he killed himself.
That man won that battle.
Yeah.
His ego, right?
Yeah, he won. The Red Viper won.
Yeah.
That's where that show took a turn for me. But
Justin said it's a leaf, not a net.
That's a leaf?
That's a big ass.
What are you, Indiana Jones? Where do you find a leaf like that?
It's like an elephant ear plant.
That belongs in a museum. In any case, folks, welcome to Hot Takes, the show with you're embarrassing yourself.
Okay.
We're so excited you're here. It's always a pleasure, and tonight's a very special show, and you're going to find out later as to why.
Yeah.
But we do want to let you guys know early on this time, so we always forget. Anything that pops into your head about this television program,
please put it in the chat.
Put it in there, because we want to do our Cat the Cat segment at the very end, and we want it to mean something.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of shit to talk about, and
a bunch of
a bunch of things,
a bunch of words, vowels, and synonyms and nouns. We want it all in there. So anything that pops in your head, unless it's horribly insulting, leave it on the YouTube comments. And we, of course, have to thank our sponsors. We got wonderful sponsors.
Got Zip Zap Media.
Coming up first, Zip Zap Media. Folks, you've got your CNNs. You've got your Columbia Broadcasting System.
I was going to say MSNBC.
You've got your MSNBC.
Does that count?
It counts in my book.
Okay, cool.
It's a peacock child. But then, for the little man, you've got your Zip Zap Media, okay? This is for the mom and pop broadcaster.
Yeah.
And if you're not a mom or a pop,
I've always wondered the origin of mom and pop, but that's a tangent.
Well, it's like the mom and pop shop. You got mom and pop. You've got the older people. Their kids are away, but they're still chugging along.
Is that? Oh, okay. I just never got it. Like they were all the customers' parents.
It's like a family business.
Oh, okay.
You know, and like you got your mom and pop shop. Like I grew up near a mom and pop cobblery. And it was truly a mom and pop shop.
Is that like where you fix shoes?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay, cool.
And you can get your shoe polish there and all sorts of wonderful things. I rely on these pencils.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no pencil. So
if you're
remember
not,
what I did for you.
I'll go get it. If you're not a mom or a pop, if you're not a mom or a pop, the easiest way to become a mom or a pop is to stop using protection during sexual intercourse.
Go raw.
And
as much as possible.
And after that, 9 months later, you can make use of that media.
Yeah.
And so that's perfect. And then we have another sponsor, my good friends.
Hexiled Games.
Hexiled Games. Wonderful people over there, as many of you know who have watched this before.
What are you going to say this time?
I'm not a fan of the game.
Okay.
I love them. I love the Hexiled part.
All right.
It's the games that I don't understand.
Okay.
And I tried earlier. Again, I always try. I tuned in earlier, and they were doing a 5-hour-long
It's always 5
streaming
hours.
session.
I feel like you're always professionally surprised they have a long thing.
This time I was surprised because they were actually live. Like,
wow.
usually I have to rewatch one of the old videos, and I'm like, what is happening? I tune in, there's a battle going on, and I try to comment. Because I wanted to comment, where are the explosions?
There's none. They don't have special effects.
I want to get some in there. And I wanted to start a little revolutionary party, like everyone else in the chat would be like, where are the explosions?
You wanted to be a troll, essentially.
I'm not a troll. I'm a fan. Because I like the guys. I think they're very funny. No, I'm a fan of the people. They are very funny.
Okay.
They do a great job narrating the paint drying. They do a wonderful job of that. And I wanted to start a little bit of a fight.
Okay.
And turns out you have to have an account to comment.
I mean, I think specifically to keep people like you out.
I'm a fan. I'm a true fan.
A true
fan.
A true fan wouldn't hate the product.
A true fan sticks with the team even when they're not doing well.
That's very solid. But they are doing well. You just don't like what they're doing.
I don't know. They need some explosions.
Okay. I mean, everything could use an explosion.
Oh, yeah. This show could use an explosion.
Yeah, this could use like an explosion.
Danger, can I have a GIF in the background of something blowing up? Yeah, I like to throw it.
Or an actual explosion would be cool.
You want a real explosion?
Yeah, like one that would we could reverse and not cause permanent damage.
We have a guest. We have a guest.
I'm pretty sure our guest likes explosions.
He's an explosion guy?
Who doesn't like explosions?
We'll find out in about 20 minutes.
I guess we will.
I had something I wanted to talk about. I know we don't have a lot of time to gab because we have important people to get to. But I was doing something earlier, and I wanted your take on this.
Okay.
So my buddy was visiting.
All right.
And he left his sunglasses in my car. So I found his sunglasses the other day. I was like, oh my God, Peter, you left your sunglasses. Do you want me to ship them up to you? I don't know when I'm moving back to Boston.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, totally. So I went out and I got a little padded envelope, put the sunglasses in, put the address on, boomity boom. And I thought, okay, I'm going to bring this to the post office and weigh it and what they do. I decided, no, I'm going to put the number of stamps that I think is adequate to mail these sunglasses. And it made me think about this time when my grandmother tried to mail a birthday card to Canada. And it was this 6-month process of it going back and forth, not enough stamps, Canadian lettering, there'd be French words on it.
Oh, wow.
It was when it finally got to Canada, it was 6 months too late, and there was this whole thing about there's an explosion. There was this whole thing about thank you, Danger, that brings me back. There was this whole thing where it was like just desperately trying to get this thing over the border with the amount of stamps. Do you have voices in your head the way that I have? Because I put on these stamps, and all I could hear is my grandmother being like, oh, just bring it to the post office and weigh it. Who's your voice in your head? Mine's my grandmother or my dad?
I feel like my voice is mainly me, but just in different tones, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like nobody really sounds how they think they sound in their head. So my voice is mainly me, or it's mainly movie quotes or song quotes for specific situations. I think I told you the other day, whenever I get gas, Gasoline by Daddy Yankee plays in my head.
In your voice or in?
No, in Daddy Yankee's
Daddy Yankee.
So I think that's more so where my internal monologue comes in. One thing I do internally that's really weird.
Yeah.
I make inappropriate your mom jokes to everything, to inanimate objects. So if I'm watching TV and a commercial will be you can save $30 on insurance. I'm like, your mom saves $30 on insurance. I do that with everything. I do it at least 20 times a day. They're not even always sexual. They're just random like that. Like
you're just cutting the legs off of.
Yeah, it could be like AARP sponsors veterans. I'm like, your mom sponsors veterans. I don't know. It's been a thing I've done since I was a child.
Like this is like a symptom of schizophrenia.
Maybe.
Chris, they have a request. When you do your voice, inner voice, can you do that? Can we see the change? Like the mom thing that you were just saying?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if you you can save 15% or more by switching to Geico.
Your mom can save 15% or more by switching to Geico.
Sounds like you.
Yeah.
You're very calm in your insults.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even know it's coming.
Yeah, it just happens. It's been a thing. I think this is such a tangent. It's a holdover from a personality trait I absorbed from a kid in 9th grade. But his was much worse. Like, he was like a class clown. So, like, everything, like every song that was on the radio, he would replace the subject of the song title with the word dick. So, like, when Usher's Confessions came out, like, you know how it's like, these are my confessions. Yeah. He was like, these are my dick nations. Which makes no sense. But he's like literally singing, these are my dick nations. And he would do that with everything. Everything was a dick. So, like,
everything was dick.
I think this was a kid I was cool with, so I absorbed that into my own thing.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you've kept that in the form of your mama jokes.
Yeah. Much tamer, I feel like.
I tried, before we get to Crossfire, I once kind of, I don't know if I made a fool of myself, but like, I was too shy to be the class clown.
Yeah.
But I would come up with jokes in my head and then not say them out loud because I was too nervous to. And then about 2 minutes later, somebody else would say that joke and get the laugh.
Oh, that's happened to me before.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah,
like,
you gotta go for it.
Oh, 2 minutes ago that would have killed.
You gotta go for it.
And but I learned that later in life, and now I'm really annoying. And but you know what's funny? Like, your mama jokes were big in the 5th grade.
Yeah, they were.
And there was this one poor kid that everyone ragged on with these jokes because he was kind of like, he fancied himself the bully. And we had some really funny kids that enjoyed taking down the bully. But you'd all live in harmony at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know? And so I had this one your mama joke because everyone would use your mama jokes on them. And mine was, and I never used it, it was, when your mama wears gray, people shout out, oh my God, there's a beached whale.
Damn. Damn.
And it's not funny.
It's not. That's what I'm damning at. It's like, damn.
It's kind of mean.
Yeah, like we were kids. We were so cruel and so.
But I didn't say it out loud.
I'm glad you did it.
Because I was like, oh, people want, like, these are the jokes.
Yeah.
These are the jokes. And I never said it out loud. But it still sticks in my head. It's like the only your mama joke that I ever came up with.
Well, I think it's a reason you don't use them. The universe was like, that's not for you.
It's not for me.
It's not your
It's not for me.
No.
Also, before we get to Crossfire, another thing that popped in my head. You ever heard the song My Dick?
Oh, yeah, by Mickey Allen. Yeah.
Well, my favorite is just, My Dick VIP. Yo shit needs ID.
That guy's so weird. He's so
It's hysterical. Yeah. It's literally, everyone in college just listening to that song being like, oh my God, this is brutal.
What movie was that in? It was like in a...
Was it a movie?
Yeah, that's where I heard it from. It was like, was it a Jamie Kennedy movie? It wasn't Malibu's Most Wanted. It was in something.
That would be in a Jamie Kennedy movie.
Yeah, it was in something though. It'll come to me.
Well, everything's in something.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's right. That's right. This is the baby making episode.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Episode 5.
We can replay the theme music if you want. We're a late night show. Anything could happen.
Yeah, low key, we kind of are.
We are a late night show.
What movie was that in?
I don't know. We'll give you some time to think about it. Maybe someone will chat the cat and tell you.
Okay, yeah, I hope so.
I doubt it. They could IMDb it.
Yeah, or just like Shazam it.
It's worth a Google.
I'm sure we're not the only ones who've heard My Dick.
No, I hope everyone has heard My Dick, and if you haven't, we'll put it in the description below. You should all watch it with your family on Thanksgiving. Hey, you know, it's almost 9:15, meaning we need to get to Crossfire!
Do it right now.
Folks who haven't seen this show before, Crossfire, wonderful little game where basically we get an inane subject to debate.
Yeah.
We've done red wine versus white wine.
Nothing like too like emotionally charged.
No.
Just random.
This is not the pro-life or pro-choice episode.
Yeah, it's Fruit Loops versus Applejack.
It's we're on that level, which is the real stuff, the stuff we deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So tonight we have someone contributing these, but we want you to maybe throw some of your ideas in here as well. So if you get inspired, throw it in the chat, and we'd love to use it because we'd like to not know these before we start. So to get us started, John, what is our first topic to debate?
We have Frosted Flakes versus Frosted Mini Wheats.
Frosted Flakes versus Frosted Flakes. Yeah, let's flip it. So, danger, is Frosted Flakes head or tails?
Tails.
Frosted Flakes is tails. So, Mini Wheats is heads.
Okay.
I am Mini Wheats.
All right, go for it.
I'm first?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. All right, Frosted Mini Wheats, folks, clearly superior to the Frosted Flakes because tigers are dangerous, okay? I don't know if you've all seen the landmark Netflix event, Tiger King. Tigers ate that poor girl's arm off, and she was the hero of that story, who is now a he.
Okay.
So, yeah. Good on you. The other thing about the Mini Wheats, I don't know if you've seen the commercial. Kid goes into school, it's a pop quiz, and they can't take it because they had something stupid for breakfast, like Tony the Tiger's fucking cocaine-riddled disgustingness that lasts you about 20 minutes in the morning. You need your Mini Wheats to take you all the way to 2:30. And when that bell rings, you get home, you eat some more Mini Wheats. That'll get you through homework, baby. Okay? You eat your Mini Wheats, it's like 16 cups of espresso. Yeah, it's a little boring. Yeah, people are going to make fun of you, but by God, you are a trooper. You drive a Subaru, I bet. You care. I don't even need my full minute.
So let me know when it's time to start.
And start the clock.
Okay, well, it's not even that Frosted Flakes are so much superior. It's that Frosted Mini Wheats just suck ass. Like, to be honest, like, have you ever eaten a full bowl of Frosted Mini Wheats and not felt disappointed in yourself in the choice that you made? First of all, they get so soggy when you put the standard amount of milk on them. They lose all the frosting. They just become Mini Wheats. And if you put a substandard amount of milk, it's like eating little bales of hay, like eating little tiny bales of hay in your mouth. And then that's just the detriments of Frosted Mini Wheats. The benefits of Frosted Flakes are they are literally like the Super Saiyan version of Corn Flakes. Like General Mills got tired of people putting sugar on Corn Flakes. So they were like, hey, we'll do it for you. And we'll get the most dangerous independent creature in the animal kingdom to advertise it and stand behind it. And sure enough, they got a tiger to wear a bandana with his name on it and brand Frosted Flakes.
Yes. Ah! Of course it does. Yeah, I'm gonna wash your dirty mouth out. I got hands in
In
it.
fact, people are saying they actually like Mini Wheats, but Chris has turned them. All right, James Bond
All right.
or Ethan Hunt.
Oh, man, I know which one I prefer.
All right, go. If you got one, go.
No, that's not how it works.
That's the thing. We had
to be random.
It's really funny when you get one that you like.
Danger. Is Ethan Hunt heads or tails?
Tails. All right, flip it.
Do we have an answer to your the movie thing?
Yeah.
Is the Dick song is in Harold and Kumar Escape
Yeah.
from Toronto Bay.
There we go.
All right.
So Ethan Hunt is tails.
Can you please go first?
All right, I'll go first. Okay. Well, Ethan Hunt is superior to James Bond because Ethan Hunt. Oh, you got tails. Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
I know. That's why
Yeah.
I'm being a good
James
sport.
Bond is clearly superior to Ethan Hunt because, for one, he's British and he's more sophisticated. He drives an Aston Martin. He has a whole assistant to cook up all type of gadgets. He can literally turn a toothpaste dispenser into some type of gun. And like Ethan Hunt, like what does he do besides like Scientology and like do his own stunts? James Bond has literally been 8 different people, and you like all of them for the most part, except for George Lazenby. But who gives a fuck about George Lazenby, right? Everyone likes Pierce Brosnan. Everyone likes Sean Connery. Most people in 2020 are not that hip on Tom Cruise right now. You know, so Ethan Hunt's Mission Impossible, right?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, cool. For a second, I was thinking about like a fucking
Matt Damon.
Ethan Hawke. But then I was
You'd still be right.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it breaks itself. James Bond, 007. It's a whole pantheon of movies. Mission Impossible has like 5 movies. That's less movies than a pantheon. So,
All right, time for Chris.
You just tell me one.
All right, go.
Ethan Hunt could frickin' rip James Bond's larynx out and eat it for breakfast. You know why? Because most of the James Bonds, they are dead and gone. Okay? No one knows where Sean Connery is. No one's seen him in 10 years or more. He's hiding out on some island somewhere. And And, you always got to replace the actor. You know why? Because James Bond, in his soul, hates himself. Not a happy person. Ethan Hunt, do I even have to say it out loud? Loves his life, baby. He's got the best theme. James Bond has just changed his song every year. Adele gave him a song, okay? Everyone's giving him songs. Ethan Hunt only needs one song, notes in your head, and everyone else can sing it while you're doing some crazy parkour in your living room. Tom Cruise, yeah, he's a little weird. Who isn't? He accepts himself. And I accept Tom Cruise. And the man does his own stunts, almost killed himself holding onto the side of an airplane. By God, the man is unpredictable. And he is so connected to Ethan Hunt. I don't buy any of those James Bonders. None of them. And also, why do you need a number? Are you that confused? So get a simple name to spell J.B. Ethan Hunt knows who he is. Doesn't need an alias. Strolls into the club. Doesn't even waste his time going to the casinos. I think James Bond has a gambling problem. That's why he has the dog. Ethan Hunt just has packing. Packing for America. Packing for the world.
That's true. Ethan Hunt, way more American.
Yeah. Way more American. What show are you on?
All right. So the verdict is in. I believe they sum it up well after the votes here. Ethan Hunt sucks ass, but
Good
they
argument.
admire your effort.
Yeah, it's a
They
good argument.
admire your effort.
Full disclosure to everybody at home and your children. I had to ask one of our audience members who Ethan Hunt is.
That's right.
Yeah, I thought of Ethan Hawke.
I thought it was Ethan Hawke too, and I'll gladly defend Ethan Hawke. I'm a fan.
Y'all love Training Day.
Oh, Training Day is amazing!
Yeah, we can do a whole episode about Training Day.
How do you feel about Sinister? Are you a fan?
Like the X-Men villain? Oh.
No, you ever seen?
No.
The concept?
Yeah.
The emotion of being
Evil's
Sinister.
bad, I guess.
It's not a bad film. You can watch it.
Okay.
I thought it was Mission Impossible guy.
Yeah, I just thought it was Training Day.
Whoever put that in, very smart.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Very
What
good
the
one.
fuck is this?
Before we move on, I want you to hot take some Training Day real quick because everyone's Training Day.
We can talk Training Day for 3 minutes before we get out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh man.
Oh, I just always go to the scene, the card scene. Like that's the most pivotal part of the movie, right?
That's an
and it's like
incredible scene.
it makes you wonder where what they actually read in the script and what they changed because it's so sinister with the whole never got your shit pushed in.
Oh my God. The two dudes with the leader of the gang, the guys, because they're funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I got my shit.
And then it's not funny. It's so terrifying. And his smile is like, I always got love for the homies. And it's and that's when Ethan Hawke's like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, he's like, this is not going to go well for me.
Yeah. I think about Training Day like at least every 2 days.
And what's funny is making the card scene, which is probably it sucks to say that's the best scene in the movie. And I say it sucks to say that because Denzel's not in it. And I still always go back to the diner scene. When he's reading the newspaper and Ethan Hawke comes in. I think that's such like everyone wants to be, you always act like Ethan Hawke on your first day of a job. Oh my God,
that's the worst first
I'm so
day
honored
ever.
to be here. I'm to be a part of your task force. I'm just so, and Denzel's just like, you want to shut up? I'm trying to read my paper. I love he's like 99% of what's in here is bullshit. He's like, I read it for the stories. So you tell me the story.
I just always would love to see a prequel. Like I would love to see Denzel as like a rookie, like how he ended up that way.
How do you become that?
Yeah, I wonder who would play him though.
Michael B. Jordan.
I mean, it's always Michael B. Jordan.
I know.
It would be Michael B. Jordan. I don't even have to think about that. And he would do a great job.
It's always Michael B. Jordan.
Dude, he'd do a great job. I want to see that movie. Also who would be great? The guy who plays the teenager in Moonlight.
I was about to say yeah.
What is his name?
Ashton Sanders.
He'd be killer.
He'd be really good.
He'd be really good.
I was thinking about the guy that played him as an adult though. Trevante Rhodes is his name. He's like really.
Yeah, but he's a little too old now.
Yeah, Trevante Rhodes.
Yeah, Trevante Rhodes, but he can play like a early 30s Denzel.
Ashton Sanders.
Yeah, because I always pictured Alonzo's characters like 44, 45 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking like a 30-year-old. My favorite is just the best line ever.
Because you wouldn't be like young as a detective. You'd be like 30.
No, you're right. Yeah, he was a patrolman for like 10 years and then becomes detective. But just love his like when he's getting under his skin and that first thing, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, you got a girlfriend? He's like, no, I got a wife. He's like, you got a girlfriend too? Though he's like, no, I don't cheat. He's like, but you got a dick. Yeah. And it's that awkward moment, and then he fucks him. He's like, all right, here's the thing. Dick lines up like this, right? To the right, to the left of it are pockets. Inside those pockets, your wallet. Pay the bill. And then walks away. It's the best. And also, this shit is chess. This ain't checkers.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's a lot of great lines in there.
It is. It's. I mean, God, it made it the perfect time. I don't think you can make that movie today.
Why not? Well, I mean, people hate police. Yeah. So.
Not even. Yeah. Because it is. Well, it's just. Well, it's just unabashful.
Okay.
In one of this, Ethan Hawke's the hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's taking down this corrupt cop. But you like Denzel's character.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Even though you know he sucks. Everybody hates him.
Well, that's the power of charisma. People get lured into liking shitty people.
You want him to win. I never
wanted him to win.
Oh, really?
No.
I want him to win.
I want entertainment.
Oh, really? Am I the only one? I want him to get that money to the Russians.
No, he deserved to die.
Oh, dude, I want him to win. Maybe that's just me.
You're evil, man. You're sinister.
I like that. I like that. There we go. Call back.
Yeah.
Dude, we gotta get to music. I'll let you plug this.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Hell yeah. So we have a musical guest actually in studio today. It's a good friend of mine, LaShawn Love. We're going to play one of his music videos first, and then we're going to get him up here after that. So we're going to clear the area so you guys can watch this. This be kind of surreal.
What's the name of the track?
Help the switch.
Name of the track is Mona Lisa Smile, and we're about to get into that.
Let's see it. Danger's going to play it, and he'll be here afterwards.
Sweet.
Mona Lisa Smiles, everybody.
Hell yeah.
All right, hold on 1 second, turning your audio.
People get into rap for the wrong reasons, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of labels out there that bring young people into rap, you know what I'm saying, just for a look.
Trying to be better than my contemporaries. I even call and told moms I'd be legendary. Snapping hard and coming back on the pace like Paul George. Southpaw throw the live, originate no ports. I'm inspired from the legends rocking shell toes. Whack rap, what is that? Cut my ear like Van Gogh. Oh, you ain't know? This ain't a mystery. We ain't another fad, bro. We trying to make history. Sick of me, you can literally get a bottle of Hennessy. Take a match and they now they torch me out, son, enemy. But first, put this here to your ox cord. Driver's illmatic, like the fam know the world's yours. Came with a dollar in a dream. Half these cats out, take your dollar with the scheme. I'd rather bless up, promote the soul. It was locked up, now I got it on parole. She just wanna smoke, I just wanna be great. I'm just trying to lift these bars, not be a beefcake. We just trying to turn the cipher to a 9 to 5. If you ain't doing what you love, how you alive? Slave to my God, not the world. I won't spend my life collecting whips, diamonds, and pearls. Rather see my people thrive and collecting the art. Not trolling in a room, hidden in the dark. Get caught up by your dreams, don't catch it out like second the genesis of a vision, reminiscent of the Renaissance. Check my rap sheet, homie, that's my collage. This what we come to do, stepping up bizarre. Set to detonate, my lines we dropping bombs. Had to find a purpose, I was once lost. Staying true to us, in the facade. Reveal Cleopatra, time to set it off. Two bad boys, not from Detroit, but I'm an artist. Grab a piston by the throat, pumping dope, pumping hope like a 3.0. At a Georgia University, spread it now universally. Let me give it to him. Musing full, do you want a mission? Let me know. We got the pool, no opposition, so my soul glow. Da Vinci on the keys, man, it has to be. And I ain't got no limits like a masterpiece. A masterpiece. Mona Lisa, haven't seen you in a while. I traded art for attention, now you never smile. When I thought to blow my brains, told me stay strong. Gave me love over feelings, so you're never wrong. Pops told me go and die, told me don't trip. Gave me a canvas and a brush to get away from it. Why do the great go young like Basquiat? I'll overhaul for a Warhol till I drop.
You back?
Look at the program.
Back.
So,
All right.
we're gonna go ahead and bring up LaShawn. He's gonna sit.
Get him up here, LaShawn Love.
Thank you so much for coming out.
All right.
Yeah.
We're making history.
Oh yeah, I think
First live guest of any kind who's a real person.
Yeah, we had real people. We had
They were playing. This is actually this is so exciting. Dude, thanks for being on.
No problem, man.
Yeah, thank you. So
Fantastic.
we can just get right into it. I wrote down a few questions, and then we can just riff from there. So
Let's do it.
the first one I wanted to hit is throughout your music, you have this concept, this motif of Black suburbia, is what you call it. Okay. And it's a term you reference a lot throughout your different songs and your different projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you could kind of just elaborate on what that is as both an experience and a happening, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. So Black Suburbia Entertainment's my music label too and company. Black Suburbia to me is just where I grew up and where a lot of us grew up. And it in no way means the suburbs, but I grew up in a community that's kind of considered the suburbs, not the hood, but it was mainly black people in the neighborhood. And even though we weren't in the hood, we still brought those hood experiences over. There were crack dealers down the streets, shootings down the street. So there was still a lot of violence in my neighborhood, even though we're not in the hood. So like, to me, that was kind of like Black suburbia. That's kind of what I saw with a lot of Black suburban neighborhoods across the town and across places like Savannah too.
Wow. You know, it's crazy. I've known you for a while, but I've never actually asked you that question.
Really?
Yeah, but it's something I've thought about. And the answer actually was different than what I thought it would be. It's really cool. I'm glad you got to like elaborate on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you feel like that kind of colors your perspective?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I know I've seen a lot of times where people see Black suburbia and they think like a gated neighborhood.
Right.
Not at all. Actually, I've met a lot of my friends from college, and I'm like, wow, y'all grew up in a nice house. I thought I had a nice house. I was like, bro, we look kind of bad compared to y'all. But yeah, definitely, man. But no, man, I'm thankful for all my experiences. But yeah, that definitely molded my music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Do you have a follow-up question for that?
Well, it's funny because I was, not to name drop, I got to be a part of an interview with, oh my God, I'm forgetting their name now. This is so awful. Half of Outkast.
Andre 3000?
Yes. Oh my God. You know why? Because the whole time, no, you know why it was? The whole time I was doing, no, come on. The whole time I was doing interview prep for him, and I kept saying, Andre Benjamin, like this is his name. And then because I so tried to get away from calling him Andre 3000 that I almost forgot who he was.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. Come on! I totally dunked myself into me.
You're in Georgia.
Yeah, I know, but I'm from Boston. You know what I mean? This is not a household name. But yeah, exactly. Me and the white community just dig ourselves in a hole. No, but what's interesting was, and I didn't know this about how what made him an Outkast so big when they came out was representing what the South meant. And at that time, it was very much East Coast, West Coast, and then here we go, the South has something to say. And it is very funny because that idea of suburbia and that has a story of its own. We don't think, like you were saying, you were surprised to hear that, oh, that's what you mean. And it's not what people would have assumed. So it's that idea of messing with assumptions that I really dig.
It's a cool subversion.
Right,
yeah, that's
right.
Awesome.
And so it's like, do you find people when they listen to your music or when they interact with you on that business level, is it people coming from communities like yours?
All over. All
Yeah?
over. Yeah, all over.
Yeah, because you've been out to the West Coast, Seattle and New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get people from all kinds of economic backgrounds, and I communicate with all of them pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked that follow-up question because it leads me into something I wanted to talk about. I feel like in Black suburbia or any Black neighborhood or any neighborhood in general, sports are a big thing. Kids play hella sports.
Yeah.
And I've always noticed that there's this link between hip-hop culture and sports culture. Even going back to Allen Iverson and the tattoos and the braids and baggier clothing and stuff like that. It seems like sports and hip hop always have this cultural trade going on where it's a symbiotic relationship where they're always perpetually linked. And I've noticed with your music, you name drop a lot of sports stuff. You name a lot of songs about sports. You drop a lot of sports references. You're wearing it. You can't see you wearing a Jesus Shuttlesworth jersey.
Now everyone knows who that is. Explain to the non-sports fans. I love that jersey. Who's Jesus Shuttlesworth?
Yeah.
Jesus Shuttlesworth is a character in a Spike Lee movie named He Got Game with Denzel Washington, played by Jesus Shuttlesworth himself is played by Ray Allen, an ex-NBA Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So with that, the question I wanted to ask is, do you feel like rap music itself is a sport?
Oh, yeah.
And if it is a sport, what fuels that drive? Because with a traditional physical sport, you have a championship that you're trying to attain. At the end of the season, there's a definitive goal. Like, what is the championship for a rapper, essentially? What feeds that hunger that drives you to want to be the best?
Man, I think they share a lot of parallels. And for me personally, the thing with rap music is to leave behind a legacy. And for a lot of athletes too, is leaving behind a legacy, winning championships, winning rings, going out on that field and giving everything that you got. And for me, with rap, it's the same thing. You know, by the time it's all said and done for me, whenever I might go, I want people to remember, what did I do? What did I do to change the world? How did my music impact people? Everything. So to me, it's the same thing, and it's both require constant repetition, constant practice, dedication.
That's what I was going to ask following after that, is sort of that idea, that analogy of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel more at home in the studio, or when you're sort of like riffing, or when you're giving a concert? Sort of the game versus the practice.
Oh, that's actually funny that you say that, because I think I've always grown up, even though I'm kind of a shy person, I've always grown up to be kind of cocky when I get on stage.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
I feel like you can see it in the video as well.
And it's like, it's like normal interactions. I'm pretty shy, but even since I was 5, like we gave a little preschool concert. I was in the front singing, and I didn't mind being up front, man. Like, when it's time to get on stage, I don't need to get drunk or anything, man. I just jump on. And I can stay up there for 50 minutes, not miss a word. But if you see me in the studio, I actually get nervous, like
really
very nervous. And it's actually a lot of anxiety in the studio trying to lay down the track.
Do you feel like that's kind of analogous to how, like, I've been watching The Last Dance a lot. Like, when you get on the court, when the lights are on, like, players can play.
Yeah.
But when you're in the gym with Michael Jordan and he's, like, talking shit, you feel like just the notion of practicing brings this anxiety that performance doesn't have.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That is I love that, because it's such a performer thing.
Yeah.
No matter what spectrum you are on, comedy, music. And I feel like with rap, because it's just you. You know what I mean? Like, you might have a backtrack, but you're the one, you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is you really do have to assume a character, kind of like what you were saying. What do you, and this is almost kind of part and parcel with, you were saying, leaving behind a legacy. So much of that is sort of connected to the character you put on. So sort of what do you hope is that legacy? Obviously, you're still building it. But, what do you feel like a little kid, like a 12-year-old, something like that, who really is shaped by music? And I know I was. What do you hope that legacy is? Like, what are you trying to impart?
For me personally, it's just to be yourself, be true to yourself, all that good jazz right there. But seriously though, just for even in particular for all black boys and little black girls, be exactly who you want to be. If you want to be president, go be president. If you want to be a rapper, don't have any shame in being a rapper. It's a real career. If you want a regular 9-to-5, do that. Just be great at what you do. Be yourself, and don't be fake about anything you do. Just put 100% into everything.
Hell yeah.
That's Think of that.
John's raising his hand.
Can I ask a question? Because
I'm fascinated
by this.
What's up, John?
So your voice is from what you label like Black Suburbia, right? In your journey so far, have you met another artist that is speaking the same language that you are, or are you kind of isolated right now?
Oh no, I've met plenty of artists. I've actually had I've met plenty of artists in my day.
Any inspiring ones? Like, is there any ones that you're like,
Oh, definitely.
who, yeah.
Definitely.
Andre, what's his name?
I'm never gonna forget.
I won't either.
Are we doing like shout outs to people?
Shout out whoever you want.
It's more because I'm curious about like the styles of different parts of the country. Because that's like Outkast did that for me. It's like, oh, that's fucking the South.
Yeah.
You know, so like, please, like, whatever your style, what inspires you and your style besides even,
Definitely for me, one of my biggest acts that inspire what I do is the Cool Kids. That was a big act for me.
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco, if you ever heard of him.
Yeah.
And from people I actually know, shout out to my boy and possible cousin, Marquise.
Awesome.
He stays over in Seattle. He goes by Nobi, incredible artist out there. Every time I go out to Seattle and visit him, he inspires me to go way harder every time I come back.
Did Lupe Fiasco, did he do Battle Scars? Is that
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I mean, just talk about a track talking about, PTSD basically, but equating it to just living anywhere where you can have battle scars.
That's crazy that you brought that up because that brings up a question I wanted to ask you. It's a little bit more of a serious one, but I feel like the way we navigate things on the show,
That's what we do.
it'll be really cool. So we talked about sports, we talked about Black Suburbia, and I think the key message to your music, like you said, you want to inspire Black kids to be whatever you want to be. And I think a lot of times we forget that people of color are individuals in this country, especially with the larger crazy issues that are going on. It's not just hashtags. So a lot of this was sparked by the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. And that's someone you actually grew up with. Yeah, someone you played football with. So I know, I'm not going to ask you how you feel about that. I know obviously it's a heart-rending situation. But
It's fine.
But what I do want to ask is, how are you navigating, like, basically the world essentially changing due to someone you know? You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Or like,
to be honest, it's not that foreign to me. To be honest, it's not that crazy to me. If I can answer it seriously, because it could have been me. I remember run-ins while I was at Georgia Southern where it easily could have been me. It is still surreal to know somebody that I know that I've grown up since elementary school be on national headlines and sparking such a movement. But it's sadly normal. It's sadly normal for me.
That's the saddest thing. 'Cause I was going to ask, I mean, come from a very different world, from New England, Boston suburbs, looks very different, has very different mindsets, and kind of has its head in the sand, unfortunately, as to a lot of, I think, communities. And I was going to ask that sad thing of what you kind of mentioned there. It's not just a hashtag. I think is probably the smartest thing I've heard in about 6 months. And that idea of, and I was going to ask, do you think this moment is any different? But I think you just summed it up.
Yeah, it's not any different from what's been going on. It's just that we're all paying attention. I'm happy to see the nation finally paying attention to it and responding to it. But this kind of stuff happens all the time.
That's what we all remember Ferguson.
Yeah.
The last time I think where this had a chance to actually achieve something good, and probably some fucking new Avengers movie came out and everyone forgot about it. And now, luckily, there's nothing new coming up pop culture to distract us. Probably the one good thing about the coronavirus. Because I agree with Chris, it's not just a hashtag, and it seems like it's following the same train that Ferguson followed. Which is that everyone cares, and something will happen, and no one will care. So, what? I don't want to put all this pressure on you, but it came up, and I'm very interested.
Everyone's really interested. This is great.
What needs to be the difference in this time? You know what I mean? We've done a lot. Social media movements, protests. Luckily under Ferguson, we had Barack Obama. We had a president who actually really wanted to get these changes happening, and Eric Holder as Attorney General to try to do it. But what can citizens, what can they do and me do? What's the difference?
It's it's just commit. I think it's just commitment.
Yeah.
Just like you said, we move on to the next thing so fast, and that's just our generation these days. And you look back at the civil rights era, the civil rights movement of the 1960s. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted for what, 18 months or 12 months or something like that? Long time.
Really?
Like, don't quote me on it, but it lasted a long time, like over a year. So what it's going to take is we just got to keep pushing. We got to keep these subjects in their faces. We can't back off. Like these protests that we're seeing every day, we got to keep going. And it's, whichever, by any means possible, by any means necessary.
It's really interesting for me because I feel like it's not so much that we get distracted by things. I think people burn out, right?
Yeah, that too.
It's such a heightened emotional state to be in a place of seeking justice or seeking recompense for a wrong that you can't maintain that for. It's like lifting your max weight. You can't just rep that. You know, you can't maintain that. So I think going back to it not just being a hashtag, I think it's so super important to just recognize that these are human beings and we are human beings. Yeah. I feel like a lot of times with Black Lives Matter and all this type of stuff.
And see, I see what you're saying now because, so many people look at Ahmaud Arbery as a hashtag, and then I guess here I come, I actually knew him.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, no, these are real people, and it's and we just have to all realize the world is a lot smaller than we think.
Yeah.
It's a lot smaller than we think. Every person we see on the news gets murdered, shot, that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter, kid.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to empathy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that incredibly simple concept that is just so complicated when you align yourself to a tribe.
Well, I think to bring it back to sports, I think it's very interesting that I don't know if you met him through sports, but you played football with him, right? I think it's interesting that sports has this weird ability to link people together when you play on a team with someone. You get this level of heightened awareness of them, this level of connection. And I think they become individuals to you. They don't just, even though you're part of a group team, right? They are individuals. And I feel like sometimes now with these issues, we just lose individuality, if that makes sense. We lose the fact that these are people, that we are people. I know I said that a second ago, and I myself am struggling with this concept, but it's like the humanity of it all sometimes gets lost in the movements.
You know what I mean? Enda Jackson, former mayor of Savannah, I think first black female mayor, if I'm not mistaken. She was former mayor.
Okay.
We did a documentary with her on a project that I was working on. And she had this great quote talking about these fellow women that were being inducted into the same kind of Hall of Fame that she was being inducted into. And she was saying, and it goes to the individuality thing, she says, we stand out amongst each other. And it's that idea of like, yeah, you can be a part of a group and feel good about it, but also recognize each and every one else as personally, individually great.
Oh, no, thank you for saying that. I know exactly what I want to say now. Okay, cool. It's like when these type of things happen, like when these tragedies happen, when these murders happen to black people or people of color, it's like people identify black people as these reservoirs of pain and death and all this other shit. And it's like, no, before Ahmaud died, he was a person. He was a football player. He was a friend. Like,
your neighbor.
He had a favorite color. He had a favorite food. He had all these things. And that's why it's tragic. It's not tragic because, it is tragic because he's an oppressed person that's been murdered in a country that sanctions that. But it's more tragic because he was a person. And a lot of times, like, even in trying to help, like you asked the question, like, what can these people do to...
And myself.
Yeah. Even in trying to help, a lot of times we don't see people of color or people who are different from us as people. They just become they become flags, essentially. They become like,
right.
You represent this nation, this ideal, when it's like, no, you have dignity and value because you are a person. You know what I mean?
It's like, that terrible thing. I hate it when I hear people say that something. Oh, that's so sad. when it should be, oh my God, that's so terrible for all of us. Like, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not all
it's a
that.
human, like people are human, like, and I just feel like with these hashtags, we forget like George Floyd was a human, Sandra Bland was a human being, a person, like with real personality, real good and bad about them, like real depth. And I think that's one of the greatest tragedies besides the loss of life is the loss of identity when these things happen. When you become a hashtag, you just become a part of history that is a pivotal turning point, but you lose a lot of your individual identity, I feel like. And I guess by bringing you here, I wanted to ask, like, how have you been navigating through seeing that process, seeing someone you knew this guy's favorite food, his favorite color, favorite song on the radio, whatever, and now you see a lot of that stripped away in a way, if that makes sense. It's tough, you know what I mean? Yeah.
How do you, with someone, I mean, you have, I think, following up on Chris, you have a voice. You have a voice, you have an audience, which is all anyone can ever ask for, and you have a lot of things to say. So connecting with that, what is, God, I mean, I don't want to ask it like this, but kind of, what is the blank that you want to fill in?
In like the world?
Yeah. Or like connected with that moment. Saying like, you know someone's personal life. And in a way, like you said, you could have been him. Chris could have been him. Unfortunately, I probably wouldn't have been. You know what I mean? And that's the reality.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it's fucking stupid. So it's like, what is the blank to fill in that someone from my neck of the woods might not understand? What is that blank that we're missing?
Just
because there's a mental gap.
Okay. From what I've seen, it's just that, we might have a few different things in our culture, how we grow up, how we sing and dance and whatever, but, we do the same things growing up. We laugh, cry, have birthday parties, have celebrations, graduations. We're really the same. We're really the same people. We're all the same people. We're all humans. We just have different skin colors and different cultures and different backgrounds, but we're still in one nation together that should live together. We should, from the outside looking in, they should just seek to learn first and understand first. Yeah. And just, and just not jump to assumptions. And just like Chris said, just see us as human beings, because one thing I wanted to add, you might agree with this.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we see these Black people, oppressed people get murdered and they don't really have an identity. A lot of times with Black Americans, we don't give them an identity until they're famous, until they're a musician, a rapper, an athlete. Then they're important. But why can't they be important when they're just working at Publix? And,
I totally feel that.
And it's like,
I feel that.
What if they're like a high school dropout in whatever? So are they undeserving of life then just because they don't have millions of dollars or recognition? Right. And it's like, why can't we be seen that way before we reach a certain level of notoriety or popularity?
Why does potential have an expiration date on something?
That's really real.
When you were growing up, you talked about imparting on people. You want to do this, go for that. When you were like, you know what, I think I want to get into rap. Any naysayers? Anyone being like, oh, come on.
Oh, man, I'm really good at that.
Was it Chris?
We talk about it a lot. So
really?
Yeah, we talk about these things a lot in school.
Me personally, man, it's crazy watching this because this is from 3 years ago. And now I could take this guy and I can get him the hell out the paint because I barred his ass up. I'd out-rap him so bad.
Damn.
If you would have met me when I started music, I didn't start music. I started kind of late. I didn't start until I was 20.
Okay.
I was terrible. I was bad. And and to say there's a lot of naysayers. I think when I first tried to rap, I was 17 on the football team, and I got laughed at the room. But I just kind of had a passion. I actually have a best friend that I'm actually really glad that he said this, because they were about to kick me out the apartment in college because I was so bad and I was waking them up. But he said one good thing. He said, yo, when you want to do something, you stick to it. So it's like, I knew you were going to get better. So like, that'd be my advice for anybody starting out that's not good at something to do, is like, just keep working very hard at it. Just keep working hard at it if you really want it. But back to your question, if there were naysayers, there were a lot.
Well, somebody talk about that guy you 3 years ago. I mean, that guy's good. You know what I mean? Like, he's freaking cooking out there. Like, damn. But I love that. I love that idea. Like, you look at him and you're just like, oh, you loser. Oh God, I had it.
Yeah. So your journey, this is 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So even like right now as an artist, I know it's a weird year, but even escaping that, you as an artist right now, are you working on an album right now?
Yes.
Please, can you talk about what's that process for people that aren't rappers?
Oh yeah.
So please give us the chef stuff.
Yeah, so me personally, I'm working on a new album. It's actually the follow-up to this album that dropped in 2017, Melange They Are 2, with my producer that I actually was roommates in college with. His name is Southpaw. We're working through it right now. I actually own my own studio equipment in my room, got all the acoustic paneling and everything set up. I do all the engineering myself, recording, mixing, mastering. And I'm not afraid to say it, I got a full-time job, so
Yeah,
I do that.
Dude, that's amazing.
So it's like, nowadays, it's like, I make a couple hundred a month from music or whatever, but it's like, until then, I'm my own label, so I got to fund myself. And you need money to do that. You need money to live. But, I just do everything from the ground up. And I also have music coming with a producer out in Seattle, shout out to Digital, and a few different producers. I also produce for myself, so I can do everything from the ground up. If I need to, I think if I could give artists any advice to gain the maximum profitability in this, be self-sufficient in everything.
Good advice. I know we're about to hear another track. Before we do that, I just want to hear where can people find, interact, or purchase your music, or whatever. Where you found?
Plug all your shit right now.
Yeah, this is your moment. We're about to hear another track. Plug it. Go, baby.
My name is LaShawn Love, creator of Black Suburbia Entertainment, and you can find me anywhere: Spotify, Apple Music. That's LASHAUNLOVE. You can find my music anywhere: YouTube. Just Google it, Shazam it. You can find it. New music coming out. Music available from the past 5 years. Get to it.
Hell yeah.
Find it, listen to it, love it, learn from it. We're about to hear another track from LaShawn. We're not going to say goodbye yet.
He's gonna be
LaShawn's
here.
coming back. We're coming back.
No problem.
Dude, this means the world to us. But Chris, what track are we about to hear?
About to hear Like I Do, right?
Like I Do.
Cool.
Like I Do, ladies and gentlemen. Coming your way. Danger. Hit it.
Saw you sent a text last night. Fuck that. I'll never run back. This is me now. Yeah, talk my shit. Let's show. Got me fucked up, I don't know what to do. Got me fucked up, so you know I call you. You don't answer, that's cool. After everything we've been through, think it's kinda fucked up like that. I know I said shit I can't take back, but we made up, shaped up, set a goal, saved up, hit the road, late nights, so not shows. Told you hold tight, Called you every day, said you were studying. Don't play dumb, and I know who your buddy is. I know you got another man, cause I saw your Instagram. You always stay flexing like you do, like you do. And I know you love attention, that makes two, yeah, me too. You will never feel that void just like I do, you know it's true. You know it's true, he'll never love you like I do. I can't be mad, got no limits. Pretty soon I'll be making 7 digits. Always had a dream, I was trying to put you in a thing. God, I woke up deaf to the white picket. You never saw the vision, why even share? I know plenty women that be lucky to be here. Matter of fact, I'ma call one now. She gon' bring a friend and some Bombay and some rosés. A new day, popping champagne, light it up, put it in rotation. I don't give a fuck, I do what I want, live it up like I'm on vacation. If you really wanna make up, I'm afraid it's a little too late. If you really wanna break up, hear me out when I say, you always stay flexing like you do, like you do. And I know you love attention, that makes two, yeah, me too. You will never feel that void just like I do, you know it's true. You know it's true, he'll never love you like I do. You stay cool on the surface, but deep down you're hurt when you look back and see that I never deserved this. I do not need you, no, I only want you, but not anymore. I see right through you. You always stay flexing like you do, and I know you love attention, that makes two, yeah, me too. You will never feel that void just like I do, you know it's true. You know it's true, he'll never love you like I do. Got no limits, got no limits. He'll never love you like I do.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We are back with LaShawn Love, Chris Williams.
Glad he's still kicking it with us.
Yeah, baby.
I'll
It is what you want to talk?
Nah, my chapstick fell, but he's like, where's your
Chapstick, fell. You are tall. Jesus Christ. Are you 6'5"?
Oh, nah, I'm only 6'4".
Only. For those of you keeping score at home.
You said it like you were so wrong.
No, 6'4". I got a whole inch. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to Chat the Chat.
Yep.
And it's past 10, but you know what?
It's a good episode.
It's a fantastic episode. Episode 5 for the real person. You kidding me? And apparently there's fire behind us. That's kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
That's from the video.
John, anything from Chat to Chat that you find particularly noteworthy? I also told John that if anybody wanted to ask you a question, they could pop it in there.
So the number one question was, how come the two hosts are drinking and he wasn't? But we see he's got a
Yeah, to the person who asked why didn't we give LaShawn a drink, we offered him a drink. He said no, and then he became
No, he drank one before the show.
He had a drink before the show, and now he's having a drink for Chat to Chat. We care about our guests.
And I like to explain that too.
Please do.
The only time I got booed off stage back in 2013 in Atlanta, way early on in my career. I remember right before I went up, all I had was a beer, and I don't think it was the best choice. Made my mouth really dry. So
no.
Anytime I get on the air now, anytime I perform now, I try to have some separation before I drink.
That makes sense.
We're not drinking beer. This is water. Water. No, I don't drink before I perform.
I used to. I don't do that shit anymore.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I will have a beer before I do it. Probably John's probably laughing at me right now. Like if I was performing musically. But when I'm playing a character, I'm trying to do something outside of myself, my acting. I can't drink.
I mean, my first couple of improv shows I would, but now I can't do it.
Improv, I won't say I need to, but I can.
Yeah, I can't.
And before improv.
I feel like I can do like one scene and then like the alcohol and the adrenaline mixes together and makes me fucking horrible.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So you got food off stage? Oh, that's
I'm just like,
Nah, it's cool, man, because
it happens.
yeah, man,
it learns.
it made me a lot better. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you suck.
Well, we won't bomb.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
comedy, we bombed.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so but like, oh man, sometimes with rapping must be so much different because you come out, you're on fire, you're charged up, you're trying to do the best, and you just don't connect.
I feel like bombing in comedy is worse though.
Really? I feel like I couldn't do. But I couldn't do that. You're out there, you're just like, yeah, and then nobody's into you.
No. Let me explain. I have a hierarchy of performing. Like to me, the hardest thing to do on stage is magic. That's the number one.
Okay.
Number 2 is comedy. Number 3 is, I would say, rapping. Number 4 is singing. Or number 4 is dancing. Number 5 is singing. And this is why I rank it.
Yeah.
Because magic and comedy are the 2 performing things that people need you to be good at for them to be entertained.
Yeah.
If you're not good at magic, if like you fuck up the trick, or if you're not funny at comedy, they are not entertaining, and they will let you know immediately. But like, if you can rap or you can sing, even if they don't like your style of music, they will respect your talent level. They'll be like, you know what, that's not for me, but like if Dolly Parton got in front of like a rap crowd but sang her heart out, people will be like, you know what,
I
she can
respect
sing.
Dolly Parton.
It's not pass fail.
Yeah, it's
Or
not.
magic comedy.
Magic is pass or fucking fail. Like either.
Alright.
And
you're
in fairness,
rapping
Chris
to
believes in
disappear.
magic. So.
Yeah, I believe in that. So like, if you try to make the rabbit disappear and it doesn't disappear, you fucking suck. Period. If you try to make the audience laugh as a stand-up comic and they don't laugh, it's a wrap. You're out of there. Like,
All right.
Comedy is definitely harder.
I tried to defend you.
yeah.
You want to fall on this sword? I'll let you. John, any other interesting things?
No, thank you so much. Awesome show. A lot of great feedback. They love the music tonight. They love the conversations you guys are going to have. You just recommend them to share.
Yeah, so, we're so glad LaShawn Love was here tonight. You guys know where to find him.
Hell yeah.
Put it in Google. Amazing things will follow you. Love seeing somebody who, like you said, you do it all by yourself. And that is, I mean, you don't do it, we have producers, but the fact that you have the technical wizardry, the know-how, you're your own producer, you're your own person, which is literally what you're trying to impart on people. So for anybody out there, I don't give a shit what you do for a living. Fucking do it by yourself. Do it by yourself. Do it by yourself.
Oh, man.
Sex, do it by yourself. No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? You know, you got your own. I don't fucking. You know what? Me and Andre, whoever, we're gonna go get a drink later, and it'll all make sense. He doesn't drink actually anymore.
Yeah, no, he used to walk by the department store all the time though, like that when I was still a club.
Word, really?
Yeah, in Atlanta. Like him and like Zoe Kravitz would be out there like all the time.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
grand.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In any case, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Hot Takes. Danger, get the music ready. Not yet, though, because I need to tell you all, we took a nice turn tonight.
Yeah, it was a really well-rounded episode.
And I am goddamn proud.
Yeah.
Mostly LaShawn.
Yeah. Well, he was the guest.
And you never know what's going to happen.
He was the meat in the sandwich.
He was the meat in the sandwich, and by God, did it taste good.
Yeah.
That
was weird.
It was. That's why I'm on this panel. Folks, this has been Hot Takes. This is LaShawn Love. That is Chris Williams. This is Porch Improv. Share this with your friends. Share this with your enemies. I don't give a flying fuck. Share it with people. And also check out Front Porch's new Patreon page. Follow them on Instagram. Do all your thing. But mostly, check out LaShawn Love. He is fantastic. And now he is no longer parched. So, folks, this has been Hot Takes, episode 5.
Yep.
Well, let's go for 5 more. Cheers.
Yeah.
And Danger, thank you to Danger, our tech wizard. Thank you to Don Brennan, our on-site producer. Thank you to Heidi.
She did the
And thank you to you.
Cheers.
Play us out, Danger.